Good morning, everyone. I'm excited to welcome you to today's presentation. Our topic is garbage in, garbage out. This phrase is a key concept in data quality and decision-making. Today, we'll explore how the quality of the input affects the outcomes we get. We'll look at common pitfalls and best practices to improve our results. So let's get started. Let's take a look at the contents of today's presentation. We'll start with understanding what garbage is and how it affects our environment. We'll see how the garbage generated by the entire city is collected and disposed of by municipal authorities, which is a crucial part of waste management. Moving on, we'll focus on garbage at home, because that's where we can make the most immediate difference. We'll explore the different types of waste, biodegradable and non-biodegradable, and discuss how each should be handled. To help us manage waste more effectively, we'll introduce the concept of 3D3 dustbins, which help us segregate waste properly. Next, we'll look at how biodegradable waste can be disposed of responsibly and how we can reduce the overall waste we produce. This naturally leads us into the advantages of reusing and recycling, which are essential strategies to minimize our impact on the environment. We'll also discuss ways to keep our Earth clean and green, emphasizing the importance of reducing waste and promoting sustainable habits. To bring a real-world perspective, we'll hear the story of Rupinder Singh Arora, who exemplifies how individual efforts can make a difference. Throughout this presentation, remember that understanding waste management is key to protecting our planet, and each one of us has a role to play in making our environment cleaner and healthier. What is garbage? Well, garbage refers to waste material that is discarded by humans. Essentially, it's the stuff we no longer need or want, and we throw it away. Understanding what constitutes garbage is a fundamental first step in grasping the bigger picture of waste management and how it impacts our environment. So, whenever we talk about waste, we're really talking about all the different kinds of refuse that we generate daily, whether it's food scraps, packaging, or broken items. Recognizing what is considered garbage helps us think about the importance of proper disposal and the need to reduce, reuse, and recycle to keep our environment cleaner and healthier. Now let's take a closer look at the types of garbage we generate at home. First, we have kitchen waste, which includes food scraps and leftovers that we often toss away after meals. It's important to manage this properly to reduce odors and pests. Next is paper waste, things like newspapers, cardboard, and packaging materials. Recycling paper helps conserve trees and reduces landfill space. Then there's packaging waste, which comes from all the plastic, foam, and wrappers we encounter with products and takeout. Being mindful of these waste categories and sorting them correctly is a key step in reducing our environmental impact and moving towards sustainable living. Now let's take a closer look at the different types of waste. First, we have non-biodegradable waste. This includes materials like plastics, metals, and certain types of glass that do not break down naturally in the environment. Because they persist for hundreds of years, they can cause long-term pollution and harm wildlife. On the other hand, we have biodegradable waste. These are organic materials such as food scraps, paper, and plant matter that can decompose naturally over time. This process makes biodegradable waste much less harmful to the environment and often allows it to be composted and reused. Understanding these categories helps us see why managing waste properly is so crucial. Non-biodegradable waste tends to accumulate if not properly disposed of, while biodegradable waste, if managed correctly, can actually be turned into valuable resources. So, recognizing the difference between these types is a key step in developing effective waste management strategies that protect our planet. Now, let's talk about the 3D3 dustbin system, which is a simple yet effective way to manage waste responsibly. The first dustbin is for biodegradable waste, which includes things like fruit and vegetable peels, leaves, paper, and even food scraps like meat. These materials can break down naturally over time, so it's important to separate them to help reduce landfill buildup. Next, we have the dustbin for non-biodegradable waste. This covers items like plastic, metal, and glass. These materials don't decompose easily, so proper disposal and recycling are essential to prevent environmental pollution. Finally, there's a dustbin designated for poisonous waste. This is especially crucial because it includes hazardous items such as medicines, batteries, and dried paint. These substances can be harmful to health and the environment, so they need to be handled with care and disposed of in designated ways to ensure safety. By using these 3 separate bins, we can significantly improve waste segregation, which is a key step toward sustainable living. It's a simple yet impactful practice that ties into our overall goal of reducing pollution and protecting our planet. Now, moving on to slide 7, let's talk about how the garbage generated by the entire city is managed. Essentially, all the waste that people produce, whether it's household trash, commercial waste, or industrial refuse, is collected and disposed of by municipal authorities. This is a crucial part of maintaining the city's cleanliness and health standards. The municipal authorities are responsible for organizing waste collection services, ensuring that bins are available and regularly emptied, and managing disposal sites or facilities. They play a vital role in not only removing waste, but also in implementing recycling programs and waste reduction initiatives. This process is fundamental to the overall theme of sustainable urban living because effective waste management helps prevent pollution, reduces health risks, and contributes to a cleaner environment. It's a team effort that requires coordination, proper infrastructure, and community participation to be truly successful. Now, let's talk about the disposal of non-biodegradable waste. One common method people use is throwing it into water, which might seem like an easy option, but it actually causes serious environmental problems, like water pollution and harm to aquatic life. Another method is landfilling, where waste is buried in large pits. While this is a traditional approach, it can lead to soil contamination and takes up a lot of space. Burning waste is also popular, especially for reducing volume, but it releases toxic fumes into the air, contributing to air pollution and health issues. These disposal methods are significant because they highlight the importance of finding sustainable ways to manage non-biodegradable waste, aligning with our overall goal of protecting the environment. Now, let's look at the disposal of biodegradable waste, which is a crucial part of managing our environmental impact. One effective method is vermicomposting, where redworms play a vital role in breaking down organic waste. This process is not only efficient, but also produces high-quality manure that can enrich soil. Another common method is traditional composting, where microorganisms like bacteria and fungi work together to decompose food waste. These tiny organisms are essential because they transform waste into nutrient-rich compost that benefits plant growth. Both methods highlight the importance of microorganisms in waste management, turning what would be waste into valuable resources. Incorporating these processes supports sustainable practices and helps reduce landfill overflow, aligning perfectly with our overall goal of environmentally responsible waste disposal. So, when it comes to reducing waste, there are a few key strategies we can all adopt. First, reducing. This means being mindful of what we consume and trying to minimize unnecessary items. It's about making smarter choices so that we generate less waste in the first place. Next, reuse. This involves finding ways to use items multiple times instead of discarding them after a single use. For example, using reusable bags, bottles, or containers helps cut down on single-use plastics and other disposables. And then, recycling. This is about properly sorting waste so that materials like paper, glass, and plastics can be processed and turned into new products. Recycling helps conserve resources and reduces the amount of waste ending up in landfills. All these steps, reducing, reusing, and recycling, are interconnected and vital for creating a more sustainable environment. By adopting these habits, we can make a significant impact and move closer to our overall goal of waste reduction. Now, let's talk about reducing waste. One of the simplest ways to make an impact is to buy and use less. By being mindful of our consumption, we can significantly cut down on unnecessary waste. When we're at home, it's better to use proper towels and plates instead of relying on paper towels, disposable spoons, and paper plates. These single-use items generate a lot of waste and often end up in landfills or oceans. Another important point is to avoid using plastic bags whenever possible. Bringing your own reusable bags helps reduce plastic pollution, which is a major environmental issue. And finally, it's essential to dispose of waste properly. Don't throw trash here and there, always use dustbins. Proper waste management helps keep our environment clean and safe for everyone. Remember, small actions like these, when combined, can lead to a big positive change for our planet. It's all about making responsible choices and being conscious of our impact. Reusing means using something without processing it, just by modifying it. It's all about taking existing materials or products and giving them a new life, instead of throwing them away and starting from scratch. This approach is really important because it helps reduce waste and conserves resources. When we reuse, we're not only saving money, but we're also lessening the environmental impact associated with manufacturing new items. Think of it as a simple, practical way to be more sustainable. By making small changes to how we handle our materials, we can make a big difference in the overall waste reduction. It ties into our overall theme of minimizing waste and promoting smarter, more sustainable habits. Recycling means processing something to make a new product. It's a really important part of reducing waste and conserving resources. When we recycle, we're taking materials like paper, plastic, or metal that might otherwise end up in the trash and transforming them into something useful again. This process helps cut down on the need to extract new raw materials from the environment, which is better for our planet. Recycling is a simple but powerful way we can all contribute to sustainability and protect our natural resources. So, in the context of waste management, recycling plays a key role in creating a more sustainable future for everyone. In 1994, Rupinder Singh Arora took a significant step by starting his own firm, Arora Fibers, in Silvassa. What's really inspiring here is that he focused on converting used plastic bottles into polyester, which is a great example of recycling and sustainable business practices. This move not only helped reduce plastic waste, but also created valuable products from what would otherwise be discarded. It ties into our overall theme of innovation and responsible entrepreneurship, showing that with vision and determination, you can turn environmental challenges into business opportunities. Rupinder's story reminds us that impactful change often starts with a single idea and a willingness to act. Let's talk about the advantages of reusing and recycling. First, it helps to reduce the consumption of raw materials. By reusing materials, we don't need to extract as many new resources from the environment, which is better for our planet. Second, recycling reduces the amount of waste that goes into landfills, freeing up space and reducing pollution. This also makes our surroundings cleaner and healthier for everyone. Another key benefit is that it can save us money. Reusing and recycling often cost less than buying new products or paying for waste disposal. Plus, these practices help reduce energy requirements because recycling processes typically use less energy than producing new items from raw materials. Overall, reusing and recycling are simple yet powerful ways to protect our environment, save resources, and contribute to a healthier, more sustainable future. So, as we wrap up, I want to emphasize the importance of keeping our Earth clean and green. This means taking simple steps like reducing waste, recycling, and conserving water and energy in our daily lives. Every small action counts and contributes to a healthier planet. Planting trees and supporting green initiatives help preserve biodiversity and combat climate change. It's about creating a sustainable environment not just for ourselves, but for future generations. Remember, our overall theme is about responsibility and making positive impacts. By staying mindful of our environmental footprint, we can all play a part in making the Earth a cleaner, greener place to live. Let's commit to these practices and inspire others to do the same.